That's the question, that how can you convince to a non-Muslim why fortune telling is bad? Point number one. As far as Allah says in the Quran in Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 90, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O you believe, innamal khamru wal maisuru, most certainly intoxication and gambling, wal anzabu wal azlamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rishtum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu la'allakum tuflihun, abstain from the handiwork that may prosper. So here it is a guidance given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that alcohol, intoxicants, gambling, idol worship and fortune telling is haram. Divination of arrows is haram. Allah says we agree with it. Logically, if we have to prove, what we have to say, point number one, most of the people who predict the future, talking about astrology or looking at the stars or looking at, 99% of them are fake. And what are the strategies? Majority, almost all you can say. They predict so many things will happen, you'll have so many children, etc. And most of them have a particular strategy. You go on the street, there's a parrot picking up a card for you and that becomes the future. You go to a machine, put your date birth, something happens. Now there's a common strategy used. For example, if you go and talk to a machine which says put $1 or put so many rupees and talks about the future, you put a date of birth. Then it says that something bad is going to happen in the next week. Even if 100 good things happen, one bad thing will happen. Say nikla. Next person will say something good will happen in the next 1 week. So even if 100 bad things happen, one good will happen or something. So these are statements which are general, which it does happen. And there was a survey done in USA that one of the psychologists, he took a class of the students and he taught to them for a month. And at the end of the month he told them that I will write about your past. To every student, 100 students are there. And he said, don't open a chit. To every student I'll write what happened in your past because I stayed with you for 1 month. Now I know about your background history, everything. So he wrote to every student, individual student about his past. He said, okay, now keep the chit closed open and give me marks. How accurate have I been? So when all the students opened the chits, and more than 95% told that the teacher was 98% accurate. 5% said that he was above 90%. Everyone opened, hey, great. He spoke about my past. 95% said he's 98% accurate. Some said 99. 5% said he's 90, 91, 92%. But everyone said above 90%. The joke was he wrote the same thing for 100 people. You understand, no? So how you formulate and how well are you able to fool? So most of this is just false. And even if someone can predict, suppose, everything, baki 99% are not right. My 1% is the main guru. He failed to 99%, he is also fraud. But even if suppose that thing is there, Quran says that you should not be bothered about it. This is a test for the hereafter. For example, this is the life you're ready for test for the hereafter. For example, there's the examination going. First you have to convince him that this is a fraud. That's the main answer. Second answer is that this is a test for the hereafter. We're undergoing a test according to Islamic follow. Then I'm talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Mulk chapter number 6 and verse number 2. Allazi khalaqal mawta wal hayata. It is Allah who has created death and life to test which of you. This is a big answer, no? The second part to convince that 1%. That is the test for the hereafter. And when we are doing an examination, you have to follow the rules and regulation of the examination. The examination, haram, haram. They why haram? For example, in examination, the teacher says copying is haram. Leaking of the question sheet is haram. Why haram? If it leaks, I get 100 out of 100. Correct? But you as a good parent, will you tell your son, okay, wahan milta hai 50 rupees mein paper. You can get the paper. Maybe a bad parent will say, jaan dena kya haram hai. Tere bachche ko to medicine mein sheet milengi lekin wo marenga bachche ko. Medicine mein he'll get a seat and he passes, he'll kill the people rather than cure them. You understand, na? So here, if you get the question sheet, it's not going to benefit. Allah knows that. That doesn't mean no one can. A few people can. The percentage may be 0.1, whatever it is. Not that they cannot predict. But prediction is wrong for you for your future. It's going to harm you more than cause you good. So even if you get a question paper of the 10th standard exam or 12th standard exam or an MBBS exam, you may think for short term, he'll get gold medal. But finally when he sits to treat the patient, he will not cure them, he will kill them. So those people who honestly will say yes, getting the question paper in advance is wrong. But yet some people will be cheaters who will say, jante na. So Allah knows best that knowing your future will cause you more harm in the akhirah. So in the real test, this examination you sit at the end of the year. It's trying to judge how good you are. So there if you cheat, in the long run you will not be successful. Hope that answers the question.